Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Cheriel Brown. I am the owner of Third Person Omniscient Productions, and I am the author of The Secret of Life Through Screenwriting, How to Use the Law of Attraction to Structure Your Screenplay, Create Characters, and Find Meaning in Your Script. And today I want to talk about one of the best episodes of television that I have seen in a very, very long time. And I want to talk about episode number 6 of Succession season 1. And it's very interesting that I'm doing this video today because season 3 started on HBO Max today. So hopefully you guys have checked the show out. I did a video several weeks ago, about episode 1 of Succession, the pilot episode. And it is a very intriguing show. It's basically rich people being nasty, mean, asshole people, but it's very interesting. So what I want to talk about today with episode 6 of season 1 of Succession is that this is really one of the best examples of tension that I have seen in a very long time. So the definition of tension when you are writing a screenplay, the easy way to define it and understand it is what keeps you turning the page? What keeps your reader turning the page, wanting to know what happens next? So that is what tension is creating tension. What makes your reader want to turn the page and find out what happens next? So let me first start off with what episode 6 is about of Succession. Well, the premise of Succession is that there is a multi-billion-dollar family who owns a media conglomerate that owns a lot of other entities in the media world. They pretty much own everything. It's a fictional family, a fictional company, and the father is the patriarch of the family is getting older. He's getting ill. He's getting sick, and his son Kendall is the one who wants to kind of boot him out and take over the company. And Kendall's not apparently really doing this to be evil. He's doing this because he thinks it's the best for what his father has built. The patriarch of the family, Logan Roy, is played by Brian Cox. Kendall is played by Jeremy Strong. And Kendall basically feels like he's doing what he needs to do to save the company. And his dad does things in a very antiquated way. And, they call him a dinosaur in one of the episodes. So in this episode, this is the one where Kendall decides to basically go behind his father's back and do a vote of non-confidence in his father. And what that means is that his father is no longer fit to be the CEO of the company. He's no longer fit to run the company. And with this vote of non-confidence, Kendall would be poised to take over the company. So the episode is basically trying to get the last few people on board who would be able to vote for Kendall in Kendall's favor to vote against Logan Roy. And then it's almost kind of like a coup, for Kendall to take over. So first of all, with Kendall trying to do this, it's very necessary for him to talk to one of the board members who is sick. She has cancer. She's not able to come out. She's pretty much bedridden. And I apologize, guys. You can see the ring light in my glasses, but I need my glasses on to be able to read my notes. Maybe I'll try to move the ring light so that it doesn't reflect in my glasses. Sorry about that. I had to put that little note in there. And so it's necessary for Kendall to go to speak to Alona. They are located in New York City, and Alona lives in where does she live? I'm sorry. I think it's Long Island, I don't want to take too long trying to figure that out. I thought I put it in my notes. I might not have actually written it down, but I think it's Long Island. It's basically somewhere that's like next to New York City, but not exactly right there. So he takes a helicopter out to Long Island and he goes to talk to her. He has a conversation, but when he comes back out to fly back into the city for the board meeting, the guy who is in charge of the helicopter tells him we can't fly anywhere. There's a terrorist attack going on. We can't get back into the city. Now, they have really interwoven this terrorist attack into the whole episode, because earlier in the episode, Logan has a meeting with the president and Logan wants to ask a favor of the president. And the president basically is like, I can't see you right now. I'm dealing with the issue of Homeland Security. And there's like a terrorist issue. So this is not something that they just bring up at the last minute. They have interwoven this throughout the whole episode. So it's logical and it makes sense. So now that the helicopter can't come out, and it's like, you know, he's a rich man. He's a powerful billionaire rich man. And so he says, whatever, you know, like if they try to take your license away because you're flying, I'll take care of it. I'll pay you whatever, you know, they take away from you for losing your license. We got to get up there. And the guy is like, no, like if we go up in the helicopter, they're going to shoot us down. Like it's not just that we can't fly because of the rule, they will shoot us down. So at this point, you know, he's telling Kendall there's really nothing we can do about it. So Kendall at the last second catches the car that kind of drove him up to the house. And he's like, you know, I have to get back to the city. I'll have to ride in a car. So he's riding in the car. And so you have to keep putting obstacles in his way. You have to keep putting obstacles in the way so he can't get to the meeting. So we know at this point that it is allowable to be able to call into the board meeting. So how do they deal with that? So they're stuck in traffic and the driver of the car tells him they have blocked everything off for like 5 blocks, 5 blocks each way from the stock exchange. So nobody can get anywhere. There's traffic backed up everywhere. Foot traffic can't get through. It's really nothing Kendall can do. So he's trying to call in. He finally gets enough of a signal to call Jerry, the general counsel, and he tells her, I'm stuck in traffic, try to stall the meeting. So prior to that, the other son, Roman, who's played by Kieran Culkin, he is talking to one of their partners, Lawrence, and Lawrence mentions to him like, oh yeah, your dad never starts a meeting late. I heard that he started a meeting on time, even when he was coming from Aspen with a fractured femur. And Roman's like, yep, you know, my dad, that definitely happened. My dad definitely is going to start this meeting on time. So we know that when Frank tries to kind of stall the meeting to kind of wait for Kendall to get there, we know that it's totally realistic when Logan's like, he literally says, fuck that. We're not starting the meeting late. You know, we're going to start the meeting on time. Where is Kendall? And Kendall's like trying to get there. Kendall gets out of the car and goes on foot to try to get to the board meeting. So now because he's like out of the tunnel and he's on foot, he is finally able to call into the board meeting. So we have like all of these obstacles, all of these things trying to stop him from getting to the board meeting. Finally, we've gotten through those obstacles. Kendall is on foot and he's on the phone. So now we're like, okay, so now we're like at the point where Kendall has to kind of introduce the issue of performance issues. He has to bring this up at the board meeting. It's on the agenda for the meeting. Logan's like, what performance issues? What do you mean? What do we got to talk about some performance issues? Frank is like, well, if you just hold on and just listen, you'll hear what the performance issues are. And so this is actually also creating tension because earlier in the episode, Kendall had gone to Frank and he said, you know, maybe we should just back out. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe this is not a good idea to do this at this time. And Frank is like, look, you know, it's hard to try to find 5 people to come to dinner at a time. We've already done all the legwork. We've already gone around and talked to everybody. The time is now or never. If it doesn't happen now, then we may never get the chance again. So you're like, you're sitting here on pins and needles because this is episode 6 of season 1. And pretty much everything from episode 1 up to this episode has been leading up to this meeting. And you're kind of wondering, like, is Kendall going to be a pussy? Is he going to not go through with it? Is he going to go through with it? So that kind of has you like on pins and needles, kind of waiting to find out what's going to happen, if Kendall's even going to go through with it. So Kendall's like, he literally says something like, I can do this. I can do this. And so he goes into like his speech of why he feels like it's necessary for them to do a vote of no confidence for his father, because his health has deteriorated. He got really sick. He didn't take the time to recuperate from being sick. He came back to work. He's not really mentally all there like he should be. Physically, he's not really that able as he should be. And so Kendall goes through with it. He says everything. So they start taking votes. And it's like, of course, like the votes are really close, neck and neck and neck. So it comes down, and this, like, going through the voting process is creating tension as well. So 2 of the people that they had tried to court to come onto the side of Kendall's friend Stewie, and the guy who just kind of came into business with them as another media powerhouse, Lawrence, who was courted by Roman to come on to the board and vote for Kendall. And Kendall had spoken to his friend Stewie. Now, the funny thing is, neither one of them go through and vote for Kendall like they wanted. Each one of them is like, yo, I'm not getting in the middle of this. I abstain. So now we're at the point where it's neck and neck. It's a tie-breaking vote, of course. And who does it come to? Down to Roman, Logan's other son. And so Logan has 3 sons. Roman and Kendall work in the company. Connor, his other son, and Shiv, his daughter, do not work at the company. And so it comes down to Roman. And if we know Roman, we're not surprised that he decided to vote with his father instead of with Kendall, because he is kind of a punk. And so then Logan, who was supposed to recuse himself and leave the meeting, he had been there the whole time, seeing everybody who voted against him. And he basically is like, okay, see, yep, the vote didn't go through. You're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. And he says to Roman, what the fuck am I going to do with you? And so, yeah, that was a very intense episode. They did a great job of creating tension. So I didn't say this when I started talking about like the fact that Kendall couldn't take the flight. He couldn't get the car to move. He couldn't like get to where he was going. They had a ticking clock. That's the most important thing about the tension that they created in this episode. There was a ticking clock, because at the moment when Kendall decided that he was going to fly out to see Alona, Frank says to him, is there time? Do you have time? And Kendall was like, yeah, I think I can make it. And so the whole time he's like looking at his watch. The whole time the time is like not his friend. Time is marching on. He has to get there by a certain time. That is what really created the tension, was the ticking clock. The ticking clock of you have to get somewhere by a certain time. So you guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope you can use this in your own screenwriting. The rules of screenwriting exist so that we can make better stories, better, more tight, structured stories. And I hope that this helps you in the creating of tension. It helps you to understand what makes people keep turning the page. Once it's filmed, what keeps them from turning it off or turning the channel or watching something else. So you guys, take this information, go out and write something, go out and be creative. And if you can't write something yourself, go and consume something that makes you feel good. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, if you like this video, please share it out with your friends, like the video, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Again, I am Cheriel Brown, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.